Hello and welcome back to Alchemy with Zero Phase. This is Eric, and I got some I want to show you that's just really cool and exciting. So I was watching some videos the other day. Again, this is a fairly new thing that because of the LCMs that came out that allow fairly fast or very fast renderings in Stable Diffusion. They've updated the Stable Diffusion Krita plugin to use those. Now, if you're not familiar with this plugin, I used it a while ago, or at least I think it was a version of it. And so it's called Crea AI Diffusion. And maybe this is a new one that just came out. I'm not entirely sure, but I started watching this and I got goosebumps because you can do real-time painting on this and actually watch things change. And if you want to see what I mean here, I've got this image up right here. And let's say we want to add something a little more star-like in the background here. Let's go like this. I got it in scribble mode right now, so we're just going to go all the way around. And there you go. I mean, that's some really cool stuff. Allows you to modify things on the fly as you do this. You can go through and I use just changing it to a white to erase things, and you get an idea of what this is going to do. And you can change the prompt on the fly too. Surrounded by magic. And it adds a little more magical feel to it. So yeah, this is very cool. So we're going to walk through real quick how to get this, how to install it, some things to watch for and be aware of, and just some basics to get you started. This plugin has a ton of functionality. Because it's part of Krita, it's a full-blown photo editing, digital modification program that gives you a lot of capabilities. Now, I've used Krita before. I use GIMP. I kind of go back and forth depending on what I'm doing. GIMP's got some nice plugins for doing batch processes on many different images, and it's come in very handy when dealing with a lot of my AI rendered images. So when you get to the GitHub, again, just do a search for Crea AI Diffusion. You'll find it looks like this, kind of got a yellow icon. You're going to come down here, and they have everything kind of organized, so you can go to the features, download, installation, whatever. And we're going to come down here. There's the features. And we see the hardware support. We get down to installation. Okay, first thing you want to do, download the latest version of Krita. Okay, you can do this directly from their website. I use a program called Ninite that allows you to install a lot of different software. But and then go to the download page, download the plugin. It'll be a zip file. Okay, you're going to extract the contents of that folder directly into the root of the PyKrita folder. So there's under your username, app data, roaming, Krita, and then PyKrita, which is where the extensions go for Krita. You're going to extract the contents of this zip file directly into that folder. Okay. Should be, let's come back here. Yeah. I could go to it. I'm not going to because I don't want to show you my username or anything. So anyway, you get what I mean. Just follow these instructions here. Okay, Linux, Mac. Now, we're going to go into Krita. You go into Krita and then you enable the plugin. Okay, you're going to go to Settings, Configure Krita, and then you go down to the bottom here, Python Plugin Manager. Okay, and once you have the plugin installed, it should show up here as AI Image Diffusion. Okay, you're going to put a check next to that, click OK, and you're going to want to restart Krita. Okay, just close it, open it again. Okay. Once you do that, then you got to add the Docker. Super simple. Just go to Settings, go to Dockers, and put a check next to AI Image Generation. Okay. What that'll do is it'll put a Docker over here on the side. So let me kind of move this out of the way. I've got mine separate. I like mine floating. Okay. It'll put it over here on the side with the rest of these tools. So it might look something like, let's see if I can put this over here. I'm not sure if it'll let me. I've expanded it too much. But it'll put it over there and you'll get these tools over here. Okay, it'll start up looking like this. Okay. over here. You can separate it. Like I said, I would recommend separating if you get, because sometimes these tools over here get a little confusing. Krita is a little messy that way, and that way you have the ability to kind of move it around. Okay, once you get this Docker, you're going to want to go into the settings here. There's a little gear box right here. Okay, in here under connection, you're going to want to select now. I'm using local server managed by Krita plugin. Okay, I wanted this to be as easy as possible, so I'm letting this manage everything. Okay, if you already have Comfy UI installed, you can go into the instructions on their GitHub, and they will show you what you need to get that up and running if you want to use your own local installation of Comfy UI. It doesn't use automatic 11.11. When you let it manage itself, it downloads a version of Comfy UI and gets it all configured for you. Like I said, this was the easiest way to go for me. I'm not a Comfy UI user. I use automatic 11.11. I got a lot of people on my Discord server who do use Comfy UI. They love it. They swear by it. I've dived into it a little bit. Maybe I'm hard-coded for automatic 11.11. Maybe I'll get used to it a little later. Either way. So you select, for the purpose of this video, we're going to do local server managed by Krita plugin. And down here, you're going to have a whole bunch of options. Okay. Select whether you want to use the CUDA, NVIDIA GPU, direct ML GPU, or run on CPU. Okay. Most of us are using CUDA, NVIDIA GPU. Okay. Just make sure you have the latest video drivers for your video card installed. Should work. Okay. Core components will install that automatically, so you don't need to worry about that. Under workloads, you can select which versions of the Stable Diffusion model you want to install. I just selected both. I like having the option. Because this is using ControlNet, some of the options for like Scribble, Soft Edge, whatever, they don't quite have that available for the XL model, but you'll figure that out. Okay. You can come down here and select a couple of pre-selected models. So Realistic Vision is a great one, Dream Shaper is a great one, and Juggernaut are both. All three of those are great checkpoints. Okay. I did select the upscalers. Again, I just kind of went through and selected most of these. The only ones I didn't really select were the depth and normal map. I don't really use those. Pose I was going to try because this does have the ability to use the pose models to create these images. Okay, we're not going to get into that in this video. Segmentation and stencil and all that other stuff. So, and then here's the XL ControlNet models. Okay. Once you get that installed, okay, you should see an install button. It'll be up here where my launch button is. You'll see the install button. Just hit install and sit back. Okay, it takes, I want to say on mine, it was like 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, because it's going through downloading everything, installing and configuring everything, including these models, which some of these are about 6 gigabytes. Okay. Once that gets done, you're going to want to close Krita again, reopen it, go back into the plugin, okay, through, again, the Docker, which should already be there. You're going to go back in here. You're going to go back to connection and hit start, or what does it say here? It says launch, okay. I think by default, after it's been installed, every time you start Krita, it just automatically starts. Okay. There's some other options up here that we can get into, like you can put in a pre-prompt, like this would be added to the beginning of every prompt that you do, okay, as well as a negative prompt. You have some other options here, the sampler, you can change your sampler here. The number of steps that it's doing. I would say just leave all these as default for right now. Come in and mess with it later on if you want. I don't think it's really necessary to mess with it. The LCM, you could probably bring that down to 4 steps, but I'm going to leave mine at 8, or excuse me, 6. There are some other options here I'm not super familiar with. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, those are what you need to get going. Once you get that in, you hit launch and it says server running, connected, you're good to go. Okay. Then you can come in here and start working on stuff. Now, this was a little confusing when I initially got into it on how to get this going. Up in the upper left corner, you have what looks like a paintbrush, kind of a magic paintbrush, and that's for just generate. Okay. I don't mess with that one. I like the real-time stuff. There's an upscale option here, which is supposed to allow you to go in upscale certain areas, add detail. I'll figure that out later. But what I like using is the live mode. Okay, that's what gave me this here. And we're going to go through. I'm going to show you how to do this. On the strength bar, that determines how strong the... I don't know how to put this. Well, let me put it this way. By default, it comes up at like 30 or 40%. I don't remember exactly what. Okay. And when it's at that level, I'm going to hit play. So when you switch to live, there's a pause play button up here. Okay. When it's on like this, that means you got to hit play and it goes. Okay. When this, it's really strange. I'm not exactly sure what the correlation is here with the strength bar. When it's down to 40, you get this black screen. Okay. Not sure why. I think there's some other stuff here like image. We can go to image. Maybe it'll pop something up. But typically I'll go to scribble. Yeah, there's the image, as it were, that came up. But when you're under scribble or line art or soft edge or canny edge, this here I've learned to just turn it up all the way. Put it all the way to 100. Okay, and you're going to get some interesting results. Oh, probably because I don't have a prompt in there. And some of these models can be a little, for what's the word I would use, pervy. So let's put a prompt in here. We're going to do Hound at the gates of hell. And we're going to erase what I've got there. So we're going to increase the size of the brush and just get rid of this, okay? I'm going to start fresh. Okay, it's going to give you an image. Now I got the strength turned all the way up, and I've got this on scribble. Let's pull this over a little bit so we can see our full canvas. We're going to switch this back over to black. Switch our brush down to a moderate size. Okay, and you can change the seed right here too. Just hit random, and it'll give you a different image. Like that's great. That's a good one to start off with. Okay. And what you're going to do is just start drawing. So we got our prompt in there. We're using scribble. So you can just start scribbling whatever you want. Okay. Let's start the head up here. We're going to do an ear. Here's the head. We're going to do this. Now Cerberus, from my understanding, has, 3 heads, but whatever. Do this. We're going to do that. I am not the best artist in the world. It doesn't really matter. And there we go. Okay, there's the head. And we're going to come down this way, do a tail, come down here, do a foot. Maybe that's not a tail, I don't know. Let's add some shag to it. Okay, see if it recognizes shag. Well, it thinks that's fire. Okay. Let me just kind of do this. I am a master artist. There we go. There's the tail on fire. Let's give it some teeth. Anyway, you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Okay. There we go. See, I mean, this is so fun to see this in real time. I kid you not. Let's throw some rocks in here, just to kind of give it some ground effect. And there's your rocks. I mean, this is fun. Like the other night, I spent as much time as I possibly could. I actually feel bad because I feel like I was neglecting my my family just because of how fun this was. Now you can switch the model. Let's say we want to go to a cinematic photo. I'd like to see what that does here because this ends up being realistic. So let's switch this. Give it a second. I want to see if it's going to refresh again here. It's not giving me any error messages. And if we move the strength down, it's just going to go darker. Oh, no, there it goes. Okay, so like I said, you're going to have to mess with some of these settings. Not sure why it's doing that. So let's do that. There we go. Ooh. Maybe I'm not waiting long enough. Let's give it a second here. Change the seed, maybe. Okay, maybe the strength needs to be down just a little bit on this one. Yeah, there we go. So we're getting something a little more realistic. Now, you can switch over to the XL models. They will probably give you better body results, body parts, that kind of thing. Dealing with hands, or, well, maybe not hands, because honestly, 1.5 models and 2.1 models deal better with hands. And so the XL models are a little more stringent when it comes to the lines. You're going to get the lines. So what I found to fix that is by going down here on this. That gives the AI a little more freedom to work with the model. We're also going to increase this. This is a digital image. Put the strength back up to there to make it a little brighter. There we go. Very cool. Okay, so there is something I need to go into on this. When you're first starting off, you're going to get a blank canvas, obviously. So let's go new. We're just going to go create. Okay, we get a blank canvas like this. And you have your floating window. Okay, to get the canvas over there, what you're going to do is come up here. You're going to select live. It's interesting that it's putting that in there since we have a new thing up. Let's close this. No, we're not going to save that. Okay, so we're going to play. I'm going to change the model to the Digital Artwork XL. We're going to turn this all the way up, the strength all the way up to 100. We're going to put our prompt in. Okay. Again, let's do evil Easter bunny with basket full of skulls. I'm not sure if it's going to actually give that to me, but this is just to show you the rest of this. So you get this in here, okay? You have to click this over here. This is to add a layer to your image. Okay, so you're going to click that. It brings us down here. Initially, it goes to image. Okay, you're going to drop that down, select one of the others here, Scribble, Line Art, Soft Edge. Okay, I'm just going to go with Scribble again. It gives us this. And what we're going to do is click the little magic button here, and that adds the layer over to the actual drawing canvas. Okay. Now it's blank, so the AI is just going to throw out whatever image it wants to put up there. Okay. And it's just set as the background. So if you come over here and look at your layers, you'll see you have background and control scribble. When we added the background, or excuse me, the layer, it did create this control scribble layer. And that's the layer it actually works with, even though this says background. If you add another layer, then you'll have the option of selecting the scribble one. Don't ask me why it does that. Not sure. Okay. And then you can, again, start doing your thing. Start drawing. If this is up to 100% with the XL, we're probably, let's see, yeah, we are running, so let's see if it does any changes here. It says pause and play again. Let's see if we can kick this into gear here. I wonder if I got something selected wrong. Anyway, sometimes, oh, there it goes. I just took it a second for it to come up. You can see it's kind of made this little fatter rabbit here. So this is Scribble. I messed with Soft Edge a little bit. Soft Edge can be a little fun to work with because, yeah, see this one says not supported for SDXL. Okay, so what we do is come up here and just select Digital Artwork, which is the 1.5 model. Okay, it actually put skulls in there. Yeah, so you're getting an idea of how fun this could be. Let's do that. Let's get rid of some of this other stuff here. The soft edge is nice because what it's doing is you're just giving it references to certain things. You don't even have to scribble out the whole object. It's really interesting. Like the AI just assumes things. It's interesting how it works. Switch this back over to here. I don't know if I'm just making too many changes all at once or what, but let's try just changing the seed here. There we go. Okay. Do that. I'm kind of wondering if I've got, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the layer. The layers can be really weird on this. So as you can see, I've got this extra layer up here, so I'm going to cut this layer out. Okay, so we're working on this. Actually, let's just start a new one here. Let's go through it one more time. Okay, so let's start with a prompt we got in there. We got that. We got that. Let's add that in. I'm going to do soft edge. Add that layer. Okay, and let's bring this down to 60%. See if that gives us what we want. So as you can see, it's putting the lines in there. And again, that has to do with this. We're going to bring this down. There we go. It does. You're kind of trying to find a balance, because what this is like how much strength ControlNet has on it, right? And so, and using soft edge is a little different too, but as you can see, it's not too bad. Awesome. So again, this is fantastic. If you have to go back and watch this again, by all means, go to Nerdy Rodent. He's got another tutorial on this as well. I think his was done a little bit sooner, and so he tries going through a couple other things that I don't think is quite necessary. Everything's handled pretty much automatically through the configuration for it. So, or I should say, when you run the configuration here, and you go to here and just select what you want to install, use local server manager. What Nerdy Rodent was doing was he was selecting connect to external server and using his Comfy UI. He loves Comfy UI. So shout out to him. He helped me learn a lot of this. So yeah, this has been really fun too. You know, in addition to learning how to put words and letters into images, this has been next level crazy for me. Definitely comment if you guys have questions. Join our Discord, and like and subscribe the video, and subscribe to our channel for more updates. We're going to start putting out some like AI news too, AI image generation news. There's lots of stuff going on right now. One of the most exciting things that I put out, maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, a little news brief on Stable Diffusion XL Turbo. They've got a model they're working on right now that can do single step renders at full quality. Like I'm so excited for that to be able, and you'll be able to do full high res. Well, I don't know if it's full high res. They give some statistics in there, but basically they can generate images like on an A100 GPU in the cloud. Like I think it was 512 by 512. They can generate a single image in something like 207 milliseconds, and it's getting so insane on how fast we're able to generate these images. Okay, we'll talk to y'all later, and hope you have a good day.